Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. So this is going to be the element spread for 19. So we have the King of Fire, which is going to represent those of you who are dealing with a fire sign, so Aries, Leo or Sagittarius. Then we have the King of Air, who is going to represent those of you who are dealing with a Aquarius, Gemini or Libra. Then we have the King of Water, who is going to be representing those of you who are dealing with a Cancer, Scorpio or a Pisces. And then we have the King of Earth, who is going to be representing those of you who are dealing with an earth sign, so Taurus, Virgo or Capricorn. Okay, so I just want to start by saying it's not gender specific, okay? It's just the cards I've chosen to use. So again, it doesn't matter, you could be dealing with a man, a woman, okay? It doesn't matter, it's going to represent your situation. Hi, beautiful Pisces. Hey Pisces, so let's get into your element spread. So we're going to look at what's happening for Pisces dealing with Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Then we'll move on to the other signs. Okay, so let's get started. So what is up and coming for Pisces dealing with fire signs and 19? What is up and coming for Pisces dealing with fire signs for 19? Okay, so we have the Knight of Cups. Okay, so we have a very good start. So you're going to feel very emotionally content with this person, okay? You might even get some sort of commitment from this person. What messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with fire signs for 19? Okay, so there are some arguments, there are some conflicts, okay, or some challenges that you and this person overcome. What messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with fire signs for 19? Okay, so I don't know if you and this person are just sort of stuck in the same arguments, okay? It's like it has potential to be really good and you do have very good emotional contentment with this person, and I feel like there's a good emotional bond, but there's just like certain arguments that need to be left in the past, because here we have the Five of Wands and here we have the Eight of Swords. So there's arguments and it's like someone's unable to move on from past arguments, okay? So what messages do you have for Pisces dealing with fire signs for 19? What messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with fire signs for 19? The Emperor. Okay, so it's like, I feel the cause of the arguments is you might be dealing with someone who wants things their way. And I know one of the things I love about Pisces, I know that Pisces loves to really look after people and sort of go with the flow. So if you deal with someone who's sort of domineering, I don't know if you've just sort of had enough of, you know, trying to appease this person. So yeah, I feel as though there are arguments, there are conflicts, but at the same time, you know, there's still emotional fulfillment. So there's a lot of love between you and this person. But it's like, yeah, someone's quite dominant, someone's quite domineering, but the Emperor is also bringing stability. So you not know why you're arguing with this person. You might be like, look, you know, all I'm trying to do is keep you happy and, you know, have this happy relationship with you. And the Eight of Swords can represent not seeing things clearly. So you might not even know why this person is arguing with you or trying to start arguments. Okay, so what messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with fire signs for 19? Okay, so some of you are going to walk away from arguments. What messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with fire signs for... Okay, so this one jumped out. So this is the Two of Cups. So this is a soulmate. Okay, this is a soulmate. So it's like this on again, off again thing, but I feel like you're going to come back to this person, or this person is going to come back to you because there's a mutual connection here. Okay, so this is a soulmate, but I just feel like, you know, maybe you try really hard to please this person and it just feels like, you know, they're just trying to sort of, you know, be in charge of everything. They want things their way, and you might decide to just sort of back off a little bit. However, this is still a soulmate. So one more card. What messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with fire signs for 19? Yeah, so someone is coming in with an offer. So I'm going to clarify the Knight of Cups. What messages can you give me for the Knight of Cups? Clarification on the Knight of Cups. The King of Swords. So someone is going to come and try to maybe communicate with you. I feel someone is going to offer you the truth. So yeah, so this King of Swords here is coming in with some sort of offer, and the King of Swords is about communication. So yeah, so I see you with treating, and then I see this person sort of coming back around. Okay, so right, I'm going to pull a oracle card for you. I'm just going to reshuffle my Rider-Waite deck. So bear with me. Also, I know it's Pisces season now, so happy birthday to all the Pisces out there. So, yeah. Mum's a Pisces, so it's her birthday soon. So, yeah, Pisces is actually one of my favourite signs. I have Venus in Pisces, so that's probably why I love Pisces. Okay, what messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with fire signs for 19? Notice the love and guidance you hear inside your mind or from other people. So you might think this person's been a bit harsh with you, Pisces, but I feel like they're trying to lovingly guide you. But I feel like this person might go about it in the wrong way, whereas rather than trying to have a soft and gentle approach, I feel like they're quite domineering when they're trying to guide you in the way that they think you need to go. So it's like, yeah, so I feel like this person does have your best interests at heart, okay, and there is a lot of love between you and this person, okay. One more message. What other messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with fire signs for 19? Spread your wings, do not hold back right now. The timing is perfect and you are ready to soar. So it is the right time for you now, Pisces, okay? It's the right time for everything to come together for you and this person. You know, so they're saying don't hold back, you know, it is the right time. So, yeah, so it's really, really positive, okay? So whatever it is that's about to take place between you and this person, it is the right time. So now we're going to move on to air signs. So Pisces dealing with Aquarius, Gemini and Libra. What messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with air signs for 19? What messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with air signs for 19? The King of Wands, okay. So this person's a bit of a charmer. What messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with air signs for the 19? Okay, so you and this person might have had a bit of a break. You might be having some time off from this person. So with the Four of Swords, it's like, I don't know, right. So with the King of Wands, if you're taking a break from this person, from this energy, I feel like it's because they're not showing you the positive qualities of the King of Wands, i.e., being like motivated, being confident in like a light-hearted way. I feel like if you're taking a break from this person, it's because there's a slight bit of arrogance there, and I don't mean that disrespectfully. I'm not bashing earth signs or anything, but I feel like this person, for you to want to take a break from them, it's because they're taking on the negative qualities of the King of Wands. So again, they might be like a little bit arrogant, or there's just something just like character flaws in this person that's caused you to maybe want to just have a bit of peace and a bit of rest from this person, okay. What messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with air signs for 19? The Queen of Wands. Okay, so you're getting your confidence back. Okay, the Queen of Wands she's vibrant, she's attractive. Okay, she's able to attract what it is that she wants. So there's something very magnetic about you that this person feels. So they're very magnetically attracted to you. What messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with air signs for 19? Okay, so you have to make a decision about this person. Okay, what messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with air signs for 19? The Empress. Okay, so some of you are going to make a decision to actually have growth with this person. So this person is going to come back around, and there's going to be growth and expansion between you and this person. Now, the Empress does represent pregnancy and fertility, so if that's not what you want, maybe just be careful at this time if you're dealing with an air sign. or, you know, even someone who has a lot of air in their chart, Pisces, okay? What messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with air signs for 19? The Lovers. So some of you might need to make a decision in love, okay? Because you've got the Seven of Cups, which is all about making decisions, having options, thinking about what it is that you want. Now, the Lovers also represents that. It represents a head or heart decision. So some of you are going to make a decision regarding who it is you want to be with, or it could be that you have growth and expansion with a soulmate, okay? So even though you and this person have experienced problems, this is a soulmate, and there is this connection between you and this person, and they are going to come back around, and it's like a very deep love, okay? So I definitely see a very strong connection between you and this air sign. So let's see why this King of Wands is here. Clarification on the King of Wands. Okay, so the Six of Wands. So yeah, so this person, it's like they love attention. They like to feel like they're on top of things. So it's sort of like I was saying with the whole arrogance thing. Okay, so this person wants to be successful. I feel like, you know, the positive qualities are they might be very driven, you know, but they do like to be on top of things. And yeah, so I feel like that's, yeah, maybe why you distance yourself with the Four of Swords, because Pisces, you're such a loving and understanding and caring sign. You don't really like it when people are overconfident, or when people want too much attention, you know. Yeah, so let's pull a oracle card. So anyway, with regards to you and this person, they're definitely coming back around, okay? And I do feel like there will be growth and expansion, because there is a very deep connection between you and this person. What messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with air signs for 19? Breathe. Take several deep breaths and exhale slowly to awaken your energy to release old patterns. So there might be negative patterns between you and this person. And I definitely feel as though you and this person have needed a bit of a breather, you know. I don't know if they were sort of maybe a little bit suffocating, or maybe you felt suffocated. So it's, yeah, it's time for you to just relax and just breathe with this person, if that makes sense. And there's negative patterns between you and this person that need to be released. What messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with air signs for 19? You are a light worker. God needs you to shine your divine light and love like an angel upon the earth and all of its inhabitants. Okay, so you have been like an angel to this person. So I don't know if you've really helped this person, if you've really tried to help this person. And I feel like that's what is drawing this person back to you, okay? Because it's like when this person has been in need, you're there understanding them, and you're there like their guardian angel, if that makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to put these cards back, and then we're going to look at those of you who are dealing with water signs, so Cancer, Scorpio and fellow Pisces. So I'm just going to put cards back and reshuffle. So let me know as well in the comment sections if you guys enjoy the element spreads. I've had a lot of emails and comments, you know, requesting the element spread to come back, because it was something that I used to do. And yeah, so I've had a lot of requests for it. And let me know as well what you think about the oracle cards, you know, because I really do enjoy using oracle cards in readings as well. So what messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with water signs 19? So death. Okay, so there might have been an ending between you and this person. For some of you, this is a Scorpio. The death card does represent Scorpio. Also, if there's background noise, I'm sorry, I have windows open. It's quite warm where I am. So yeah, you know, the weather's nice and I'm just sitting here with the windows open doing this reading. So yeah, if there's background noise, I apologise. Okay, what messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with water signs? 19. Okay, so this is a soulmate connection. So this person might come back around to you. Okay, so it's like there's been an ending, but there's still this connection between you and this person. What messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with water signs? Oh, the strength. Okay, so there might be some forgiveness, or this person. Okay, right, let's clarify the strength card. Why is the strength card here? Okay, the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so some of you are going to forgive a certain situation, or you be forgiven for a certain situation. Okay, so the Three of Pentacles, it could be a third party situation. Okay, and there need to be a forgiveness. It could also be that maybe there's a forgiveness just because things generally didn't work out, because the Three of Pentacles is about collaboration. Okay, so it might be there's a need for forgiveness because things just didn't work out, and yeah, you know, but there's still this connection. What messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with water signs from 19? Yeah, okay, so there's been some stubborn arguments between you and this person. What messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with water signs from 19? Okay, the Six of Wands. Okay, clarification on the Five of Swords. The World. Okay, so there's definitely been very bad arguments between you and this person, but you are going to be able to overcome it. So you've got the Five of Swords here. So this is silly arguments, that type of thing, maybe revenge. So, you know, I don't know if someone's been a little bit spiteful, but we have the World. So this is coming to completion now. And we have the Six of Wands, which is all about victory. So you're going to come out on top. So it's like, even though there have been arguments, there have been an ending, and there's been spiteful behaviour and all the rest of it, there's still this soulmate connection. The arguments are sort of just going to naturally disappear. And yeah, you're going to start a new cycle with this person, and you're going to come out on top. Okay, so I'm going to put these cards away, and then I'm going to shuffle your oracle cards. That's it, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle your oracle cards. What messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with water signs for the 19? Oh, okay, so two cards wanted to come out. So I am the angel of peace. I'll bring you new tranquility and a smoother road ahead. So, you know, it's like I was saying, you know, between you and this person, if there have been arguments, things are definitely going to be a lot smoother. So, you know, maybe you've had a lot of obstacles with this particular person. What they're saying is the road ahead for you and this person is a lot smoother. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect, but things aren't going to be as bad as what they have been. And we've got this card. Yoga and exercise are essential to your well-being, peace of mind and spiritual growth right now. So you're going through a phase where, you know, you're growing a lot spiritually, okay? And they're speaking about yoga and exercise. So, you know, Pisces, that might be something that maybe you want to look at, you know, but they're just saying look after your well-being, okay? Okay, so now let's move on to those of you who are dealing with earth signs, Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn. So here we go. What messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with earth? Oh, it's literally flipped out. So we've got the Six of Wands. So there will be some kind of victory between you and this person. You're going to get some attention, some kind of recognition. What messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with earth signs for 19? Wow, so some of you are going to have a successful relationship with this person. What messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with earth signs for 19? The Queen of Pentacles. So this person is really going to try to nurture you. They're really going to try to look after you. And I do see a successful relationship potentially forming, okay, because you've got the Four of Wands. So this could potentially even be a marriage partner or someone that you get involved quite deeply with. And we have the Queen of Pentacles. So you really care a lot about this person, okay? And this person really cares about you. So it's like you're really going to try to nurture and nourish each other. What messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with earth signs for 19? What messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with earth signs for 19? Okay, so some of you do need to make a decision about this person, okay? Clarification on the Seven of Cups. Clarification on the Seven of Cups. Clarification on the Seven of Cups. The Emperor. Okay, so some of you need to get to a point where there's more stability between you and this person. So I don't know if you have ideas in your head of how you want it to be, but this person is kind of going to help to keep you grounded. So the Seven of Cups is all about decisions, looking at our options, but it's also about, you know, looking at the possibilities, you know, and that beautiful Pisces world of like You know that I'm trying to think of the right way to kind of say it. You know, but like that daydreamy type of thing. So, you know, I don't know if you've been daydreaming about what it could be like between you and this person. So, you know, you can definitely have what you want from this person, okay? Because these are really good cards. But it's like this person is going to help to keep things stable. They're going to help to keep things grounded. What messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with earth signs for 19? The devil, okay. Why is the devil here? Clarification on the devil. Clarification on the devil. The hangman. So this person, yeah, so there's definitely potential for success, but I feel like with the emperor and the devil and the hangman, it's like this person only sees things from their point of view. They're so kind of grounded, if that makes sense, that they kind of need to be a bit more open-minded is kind of how I'm seeing it, because we've got the devil, which is about being bound and feeling trapped, and we have the emperor, so I don't know if this person may be a little bit controlling, and we have the hangman, so I'm not seeing this as a timeout, even though the hangman does represent having a timeout, things being put on pause. I feel like this person is behaving the way they are towards you because they just don't understand. They don't see things from your perspective. So, you know, if you take the hangman, if you look at this light illuminating around his head, because he's upside down, he's able to see things from a completely different point of view. So this person is kind of struggling to see things from your point of view, you know, and that's one of the things I love about Pisces is you guys really think out the box, and especially when you're dealing with an earth signs or someone who has a lot of earthy energy, they're so practical that sometimes they struggle to think outside the box, not in a bad way at all, okay, but that's what I'm seeing happening here. But again, you know, it does have huge potential, you know, for you to have a successful relationship with this person, because you have the Four of Wands, you have the Six of Wands, you have the Queen of Pentacles. So this is a loving earth sign, okay? And for some of you with the Devil card here, it could be a Capricorn, okay? You know, but it doesn't have to be. But I feel like this person likes to be in charge. They're quite authoritative. So, yeah, and you just need to try to help them to understand your point of view, okay? So, what messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with earth signs for 10? Okay, so this one is sticking out, so I'm going to take this one. So it is safe for you to be powerful. You know how to be powerful in a loving way that benefits others as well as yourself. So don't be afraid to stand up for yourself with this person. If they are trying to sort of be a little bit over the top in terms of power and control, that type of thing, stand up for yourself, Pisces. Say no, you know, I don't feel like this and I don't feel like that, and, you know, express yourself. What messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with earth signs? 19. Breathe. Take several deep breaths and exhale slowly to awaken your energy and to release our patterns. So this card has come out again. So, you know, there's patterns with this person that you need to release as well, okay? You know, but I would say you definitely need to stand your ground with this person, okay? I'm going to pull one more oracle card. What messages can you give me for Pisces dealing with earth signs from 19? New psychic and spiritual experiences are changing the way you view the world and yourself. Allow your spiritual gifts to open through study, prayer and meditation. So you have new experiences with this person. You start to feel them on an even deeper level because they're saying new psychic experiences. And Pisces, you're a very spiritual psychic sign, okay? So you just naturally intuitively pick up on things. So I feel use these gifts to help you to understand this person, okay? So as it's Pisces season, I'm going to do a collective oracle card spread. So let's see. What messages can you give me for Pisces? What messages can you give me for Pisces? General messages for Pisces for 19. Business venture, trust and follow through on a new business venture or career opportunity. So some of you are going to have a new business venture or a new career opportunity. Okay. What messages can you give me for Pisces? 19. walk away, leave the unhealthy situation and enjoy the new doors that open as a result. So some of you could end up leaving a current job and going into a new job. Okay, so now is the time to walk away from anything that doesn't benefit you. Okay, what messages can you give me for Pisces from 10? Summer. So everything that you're asking for becomes yours in the summertime. So, you know, we're nearly in spring now, so summer is going to be a very good time for you. Okay, so yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe, and if you would like a personal reading, all the information is in the description link. So I hope you guys enjoy Pisces season. Have a very happy birthday, lovely Pisces, and I'll speak to you soon.